Do you have copies for everybody in the room?
No, I didn't.
Could she make copies real fast? I think that would be very courteous if you do that.
Dr. Lewis, I thought you were first on the agenda.
It has to be passed out.
Doug told me that you had already called after these had already been called out. They had been mailed out. I got mine, I think.
If you would allow me to speak to the board, I'd like to.
Okay. We'll give you a few minutes.
Am I waiting or am I starting?
Have you done the agenda?
Yes.
Okay. Let the ready here. We'll yield to you for 5 minutes.
Thank you for the agenda. Stephen and I would really like to know, our request of the meeting minutes that we requested 2 meetings ago at your board meeting. What is the status of that? Nobody's called me. We requested that under the Freedom of Information Act, and we still don't have anything from that, and nor correspondence or any information from anyone.
Oh, I know I asked Melissa about it. She said she was working on it, but that's been some time ago.
It's been quite some time ago, Ms.
Well, it was quite some time ago that I asked Melissa about following up. She said she was working on it. When Doug gets back in here, we'll ask him if he knows the status on it.
What's that?
She had requested at the last board meeting
At the last 2 board meetings.
She requested 3 years of the agendas and the board meetings. And you said it's us. I assume that us was you and Billy Ray.
I don't speak for her.
I
She
don't
doesn't
speak for
me.
him at
Okay,
all.
who is us?
My husband and I.
Okay, right, there, I just gave Billy Ray a copy of them there. You want to borrow his and make copies, or I'll make copies for you?
No, but the request was made under the Freedom of Information Act, Mr. Watson. You have 3 days to supply that information. That's not happened, nor was there any communication. So that's what I'm still today asking for, right?
well, we'll get the folder and make your
I just, when you said us, I assumed that that's,
Because they were
that they were
talking.
talking. I thought assumed it was for the TIGG group.
Don't assume anything.
No.
Hold up your
Don't
hand if
assume
you'd like
it.
to have one of these, please.
Yeah, that
Clearly,
clearly
give
is
one
what
your folder and I'll tell you to make us a copy of that all up. Thank you. I'm sorry.
We can check it.
I have one, thank you.
Would you pull out the changes and the minutes and the copies of them? This is all. Just one? Just one. That's it.
I mean, if you've got extra, then I'll go ahead and take that. Thank you so much.
We received your letter, Ms. Turner, about the water being purchased from the city of Harrison. And we wanted to know, when did that area start being supplied by the city of Harrison water? And how and where is that connected to the Carroll Boone County Water District?
It's connected at Little Arkansas, and it has been ever since the beginning. That's it.
Carroll Boone Water, when that was first started, the people that wanted to get on the project was Harrison, Green Forest, Beverly, and Utica, and it seemed like there was maybe another little place. But anyway, they're the ones that put up the money to start with and sign the paperwork to get the project done. So like Harrison, everything from just the other side up there somewhere west of Alpena, from there on, in fact, ties on. Harrison actually builds Boone Board of Water, which is us and Alpena, and Cottonwood, and anybody else on the rest is down to it. It's actually built in Harrison, but Carroll Boone uses the meters.
And we tie in at Little Arkansas.
So we put it out, water out of Little Arkansas, not like that.
I guess I'm not clear, Mr. Wasson, because when this whole flooding thing happened, and we started all this process that we've been going through on a monthly basis, you kept telling us that our water supply was Carroll Boone County. All right, and then now we received your information, Mrs. Turner, stating that you're buying the water from the city of Harrison. So the water is being brought all the way to Harrison and then pumped back out to us, or how's that working?
It connects at Little Arkansas, here to our pump stations. And Carroll Boone's got a meter there that we buy water from them. We actually buy it from the city of Harrison.
Well, now, see, when did that start, is what my
Back in the
question.
beginning, whenever Carroll Boone,
Been that way all.
And why would your manager, Mr. Wasson, tell several people something completely different, ma'am? That's what, we're just trying to get to the actual facts.
well, we actually buy water from the city of Harrison, and they get it from Carroll Boone. But it doesn't come through any of Harrison's water lines.
Okay, is the city of Harrison aware of the loss amount that you've been experiencing over the last several years?
Oh, yes.
And are you any further along with being alarmed about the amount of loss that you all are experiencing annually?
They work on that monthly and daily.
That was what, over 90,000 in the last 13 months, is that right?
$91,574 and some change.
Water loss.
Yeah, dollars. We've noticed Joe Permy and his crews have been working out there in the Cass Batavia area, and a lot of trucks going back and forth. Are they working on the line, preparing for the valves to be replaced, or? And what are they working on out there?
No idea what I'm looking for this.
Are you certain of that, Mr. Watson? Is that the records, or?
Unless you've got a specific location that you want to talk about.
No, sir. I would think that you as the manager would have that information and know exactly what your contractor's doing.
He works for other people besides Southwest Living Water.
I understand that.
When was the last time you worked for us?
It's probably out on Duncan Road.
And then he was working on Mama Bear the other day in the ditch, and that I forget the big thing. Just
Actually,
digging
it's
out
part
the
of
individual there. In the ring where it
I don't
comes to-
recall anything around caps there that we've done.
In the last 2 weeks? Okay. And when are you expecting to have Mr. Porter come for the retesting of the lines?
As soon as we get them in and we can
Okay,
coordinate.
you work off of a plan, Mr. Watson, and you have a schedule that you're working under, is that correct?
I don't know
Ms. Turner?
exactly.
He has agenda, but then there comes a water leak or a break, and then that throws it all up in the air again, and then he gets that fixed, and then he regroups, and we go again, and then it rains a day or two, and then that throws everybody back.
So you don't have an idea of when the retesting will be done, or the actual valve replacement, line replacement?
I'll try my best to do the valves in the next 2 weeks, as the weather goes.
And then you were to find out how much those valves cost. From the last board meeting, we requested that. Well, no, the valves came in, so an invoice typically is shipped with a product, or emailed, or faxed, or sent by mail.
Usually the product comes and then a week or 2 later, the end of the month is when the invoice comes.
They bill us out.
You'll receive a packing slip with the merchandise, and the invoice will follow.
Okay, so you do have an invoice, or you do not, sir?
I think we surely by now we would have one. I don't pay the bills, so I don't have it actually seen.
You don't have any idea how much the cost was for those valves?
If I was guessing, I'd say they were somewhere under $250 each, but I'm guessing. I don't know.
Okay, so when we get ready to leave here today, may we have a copy of those, that invoice?
I've got it.
And then, we'd like a copy of your new bylaw edition that you just voted in. You're gonna disseminate that bylaw to the entire members? I have a copy of that proposal?
Yes. I'll get that to you after the meeting. All righty.
And, one last item, my time was taken up because you had your staff making the copies, so allow me just a few more questions, please.
Make it brief, please.
Did legal counsel consult you on the writing of those new bylaws? And if so, what attorney?
We haven't got that far yet. It's still in committee.
You just approved it, though.
We approved one here.
Yes, this one here. My question
And they
is,
come out of the committee and then we'll take it off to the attorney and have him to review the whole package when they get done working on it.
I think she's saying that latest motion, is that right?
yes,
I didn't have it approved.
okay, but you have that in written format, right?
Right.
And that's what I can have a copy of?
Yes.
I would highly recommend that this board review that new bylaw with your legal counsel. Because under the Freedom of Information Act, which I'm urging and hoping that you all will attend those classes as Eridine has suggested, that's in violation of our rights, sir. And
Okay.
that,
Mr. Lewis?
This may surprise you a little bit, but I would like to compliment this board, Derek. If you're looking into learning more about the FOIA, then I think that's in your favor. That's in our favor as citizens. Some of us in here are members of the Southwest Boone County Water Association, some of us aren't. But yet we're taxpayers, aren't we? It's our money. It's our money that's helping to fund this board and this whole association. And so that becomes very important. So I compliment you. I will say this, the TIG group, the Transparency in Government group in Boone County, which all of us, most of us in here are members of that, is also, Doug, sponsoring on May the 31st. And I would encourage you to write this down. We're sponsoring a workshop, FOIA workshop, 1 to 4 p.m. at the Dragon King Restaurant Conference Room.
1 to 4?
1 to 4. I would almost, refreshments are free, won't cost you a cent. And Monty, I would almost bet that you could save your trip and expense for the association to Fort Smith or wherever you would go if you will attend that session. You'll learn, I think, as much there or more than you'll learn at one of the road shows. I would almost guarantee you that.
What was that date again? I'm sorry.
May 31st, 1 to 4 p.m. And I'd like to extend a welcome and a encouragement for all of you to come to our sponsored workshop.
And who's going to be doing it?
That's in discussion right now, but you'll have some good people there. This is about the 4th or 5th workshop like this. In fact, it is. I know both of these people that will be presenting, probably in Fort Smith and the other 3 places. I know what they've done. They've been here, and so we would ask you to come to that. I still want to caution this board because I suspicion, as I think many of us in this room do, you're still taking, I'm not making this as an accusation, Dean, I'm just saying it's a suspicion that you're conducting business outside of this board meeting. And folks, if you are, you have to be willing to face the consequences if they come down the pipe. And I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying I suspicion, and I think many in this room do too.
Define conducting business.
I won't even
Define
insult.
that.
No, Jerry, I wouldn't
I'm just
insult.
asking a question.
No, I wouldn't insult your intelligence nor these board members. You know what I mean.
Well, I'm not sure I do.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You're a smart man. I know you. You're a smart man. I don't want to insult your intelligence.
He's not. He's asking a fair question.
No, I know he is.
And he
It's
needs
a
an
fair
answer,
question.
whether- no, and no
my
question is